Donald Trump is coming out hard against Kathy Barnette, who is going up against Dr. Oz in the Republican primary for Pennsylvania's Senate. He put out a statement, since he's not yet back on social media, saying Kathy Barnette will never be able to win the general election against the radical left Democrats. Dr. Oz is the only one who will be able to easily defeat the crazed lunatic with a capital L Democrat in Pennsylvania. A vote for anyone else in the primary is a vote against victory in the fall. And so very concerned that she can't possibly win. Now, why are they worried about her? I mean, Dr. Oz is still doing quite well in the polls after getting Trump's endorsement. Well, recent polls show that while Oz did get a boost from the endorsement seemingly, or name recognition, I don't know, but he's up to 22%. Barnette is up 10 points. And right now, it is very mixed right there. Oz, McCormick is more of like a establishment Republican. Barnette, who's like a legitimate crazy. Oz is cosplaying crazy to get the Trump people to like him. And then I don't know, maybe undecided will end up becoming a senator. But what's interesting is that she is able to do this despite being massively outspent. So David McCormick has spent 12.4 million. There's like 11.4 million on television ads. Barnette has spent $137,000 on television ads. So she has jumped up despite very little money being put into that. And so they are worried. They're worried that she could end up beating the candidate that Trump has chosen. Trump already lost in one or two of his endorsements the last go round, so he doesn't want that to happen again, which is not only why he's trying to stop her, but also why he's kind of hedging his bets. Because he also says, in the guise of criticism, she has many things in her past which have not been properly explained or vetted. But if she's able to do so, she will have a wonderful future in the Republican Party, and I will be behind her all the way. So she can't possibly win. She sucks. She's gonna give this race to the left, but I guess if she wins, she's awesome and I love her, Brett.
Yeah, that is the kind of straight. Listen, this exposes that there is no like unifying principle of the Republican Party. All it is. And this shouldn't drive people crazy though, that statement. He's like, listen, at the end of the day, I am a vote red till you're dead kind of person. And he says that, and that's fine, but that's something that Donald Trump does, that he somehow gets away with it because he's so snivelly and stupid. It's because he can, as I said on your show since before he was president, he's just a truffle pig for this kind of stuff. He can smell which way he can tell where it's all going. And so he tries to get out ahead of it, even if as recently as yesterday, he was wildly against it.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, I'm just gonna, we don't have to go to the graphics. I'm just let you know that there is a little bit of disagreement here. Steve Bannon really likes her. She, by the way, has attacked Trump, calling him horrid, very little substance, moral character is questionable. Now, this is all stuff that she said back in 2016. Others have said worse stuff against him and he's ended up liking them. So I don't know, maybe she'll be able to pull a JP Mandel. But what's interesting is that we don't have this as a graphic, but after all this came out this morning, she has to respond to it, of course. So she tweeted, remember when they told you President Trump was unelectable and then he won? Remember when they told you Ron DeSantis was unelectable and then he won? They both won and gave us some of the best conservative representation we've ever seen. The experts have no idea. And that's an okay point, although I don't know that people ever said that about Ron DeSantis, but they did say it about Trump, so she has a point. Some of the experts got it wrong. But in this case, the expert she's criticizing is Trump. Like he's the one saying she can't get elected. So I don't know, Brett, it seems the argument falls apart a little bit at that point.
This is primary politics, and what happens typically in primary politics is the crazies, their words, get involved in that. Because most people going about their daily lives are just not paying attention to politics. So you get the more engaged, more ideologically polarized people out to the polls. And Trump has been able to galvanize that population a lot and make them believe that they can make a difference, and they have made the difference. And so in primary politics, those people have a higher propensity to win overall. And then they say that the prevailing wisdom is that in the general election, not only does the more moderate candidate typically win, but the psycho crazy candidate who's been able to galvanize the crazies, for lack of a better term, in their party, then just starts changing their tune and going centrist. And that's something that Mitt Romney got in trouble for saying. He called it the Etch-a-Sketch. You shake the Etch-a-Sketch after the primary and you go angle toward the middle. The difference is these days, Republicans have largely had more faith in the crazies. So what they do is they keep up the crazy rhetoric to that base because they think that's what's gonna take them over the edge. Because in their minds, the fiscal Republicans have always believed that the psycho religious zealots in their party aren't gonna get what they want anyway. They're just getting paid lip service. So the moderates will vote red till they're dead. And they just have more excited ultra MAGAs or whatever Biden wants to call them now stupidly. So that's the new calculus, and that's a different approach to politics than has happened for years and years and years. And then the last thing I'll say about that is on the Democratic side, they've never once embraced that. They don't know how to do it. They always are playing by a playbook like 500 years too old.
Okay, I think those are perfectly reasonable points. I think also logistically, it's difficult for some of these crazies, even if they wanted to do the Etch-a-Sketch thing. I think that there's some histories that are a little bit harder to clear away. But I agree.
Marjorie Taylor Greene will stay in office, and she has those moments, and she's like, "Well, that was before I was in office, and I'm different now."
Yeah, that's
huge
true.
wink.
Exactly. Although her base doesn't believe that or think that, they think that that's a strategic thing, and they're right.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.